Hello and welcome to Redmen TV. It's Jonathan here with the player ratings after that wonderful 3-0 victory over Stoke. And as I said in the match reaction video, isn't life so much more wonderful when the Reds win? And I'm going to run through the player ratings there now. It's always a hell of a lot easier to do it when we win. So we'll start with our keeper. I mean, like, what can you say? You take that moment of madness aside, that 2 or 3 minutes in the first half there where he probably should have seen red. Now I know you'll argue the rule change perhaps if he made a genuine attempt to play the ball, but I'd be calling, if that was the opposition goalie, I'd be calling him to be sent off. To be fair, he dealt with any high balls pretty well. I think he wobbled after the penalty incident. But by and large, he had a decent enough game. He probably would have been on course for a 7, but I have to drop him down for a 6 just for that couple of moments of madness. So he gets a 6. Gomez at right back, another brilliant performance. You know, he's just mature. You watch his attack and play. How much he grafted to cut that ball back. For the first goal, defensively solid, you know, and again he's shown that bit of tactical nous now that he can be that right back that tucks in and plays as another centre half and gives us a bit more strength, a bit more structure. You know, he was solid again, and poor old Trent is going to really struggle to get into this team, and even go, dare I say it, Klein will struggle, but there we go, that's another day's conversation. Another brilliant performance, and Gomez gets an 8 for me. I thought he was wonderful again today. The centre of the defence, by and large, they dealt with most things. There was a couple of wobbles. I thought Lovren was pretty good considering, you know, he's on crouch. It's a difficult player to mark. You know, they're pumping balls up to him. He's very, very, obviously he's so big in the air. He's such an aerial presence. But I thought Lovren dealt with him pretty well, and there was no wobbles. There was no in your heart moment. He just was very, very solid, and Lovren gets a 7 for me. Mapic, a little bit, probably not as assured as Lovren, but you know, not too bad. You know, positive enough to display 1 or 2 maybe little wobbles. You know, almost moments that you would expect with Lovren, but you know, did his job, clean sheet. He gets a 6. Moreno, the brain fart is gone for now. It's almost a distant memory. Another very assured performance. I thought he gave a very good attacking outlet. He helped Manny a lot down that left wing, and I thought he did a number of excellent recovery tackles, particularly the first half. You know, there was one brilliant one there. He tore back and he nicked the ball away from Shaqiri. You know, I thought he had a very good game. Now, you know, he was under a little bit more pressure in the second half, perhaps when they pushed forward a bit more. But I thought he was solid, and again, there was none of these kind of, oh God, what are you doing sort of moments. I thought he was steadily assured throughout, and Moreno gets a 7. Onto midfield then. I suppose we'll start with Chan. Started the game very positively. You know, drove on. He wasn't, he was playing the most deepest of the midfielders, but he wasn't sitting. He was driving forward. You know, right from the off, he was getting the ball and drilling forward. And he didn't take as many touches as sometimes. You know, that's the biggest criticism at times of him playing that deep line position where, you know, he takes too much out of it. I thought he was composed. I thought he pushed us forward pretty well, and you couldn't say that, you know, we're ever outran at any stage of midfield. And there was the one moment that comes into my head is where it's one stage where he does take too many touches. He's too slow on the ball and he gets twisted. We're on the attack, but he comes back. But he has, you know, the bit of shrewdness inside him just to take the yellow card, pull the player down. And, you know, by and large, he had a very good game, and I'm going to give Chan a 7. Genie, I thought he had another kind of one of these. It's one of these games where you only kind of notice him if he's not there, if you know what I mean. I thought he was solid again throughout. You know, he even took a go at a free kick there in the second half. I made a half a decent effort at it. We were all shouting for Salah to take it for the hat-trick opportunity, but no, he had a quietly effective game, and you know, plugged a lot of gaps in midfield. You know, was an outlet, drove forward. I thought he had another brilliant game, and Genie gets a 7 for me as well. Onto the left, then it's Mane. You know, yeah, whoa, you know, if it wasn't for another particular player that I'm talking about, he's man of the match all over it. You know, a very, very effective performance, pace, strength. You know, the strength to hold off players and drive forward. You know, there's stages there where he gets the ball, he's under pressure, there's 2-3 people beside him, but no, he just shrugs them off and he drives forward, takes the goal beautifully with a beautiful little dink, sets up Salah with a wonderful piece of attacking play. And, you know, just a constant threat throughout, and, you know, great to see him back on the pitch after the break at the weekend. And we even got the fans got an opportunity to sing his Christmas song. So all in all, a brilliant day out for Manny, and Manny gets an 8 for me. On the other side, then Chamberlain playing on the right side primarily. But again, another brilliant performance. You know, defensively he's shrewd. You know, he there's one stage there in the first half we're under a little bit of pressure. We're kind of getting overrun, and he just comes back and he nicks the ball away. Simple things, but very, very important and effective. Was, you know, looked to get forward as much as he could. Was a threat throughout. Worked his arse off again. Some will argue that they didn't really like the bit of aggression that he showed just before he got hooked. But personally, I like that bit of bite. I like that bit of steel, because too often we've been Mr. Nice Guy, and sometimes we need that guy just to do that, just to get in at him. I like that, and another brilliant performance. And it's got to a stage now where nobody's mentioning his price tag. Nobody's mentioning that he's on the bench or whatever. He's just settling into Liverpool life, and he's turning out to be a very effective player. And he gets a 7 for me. Up front, then it's Bobby. You couldn't say it's his best. You know, he set the world alight or his best performance, but, you know, again, a very, very effective performance. I loved, you know, I spoke about it in the match reaction video. I loved the little letting the ball go over the line for Manny's goal, and not being this snide little guy to taking all the glory. I kind of like that in a way. It showed glimpses of a little bit of a partnership with Solanke. You know, put in a hard graft, did the usual pressing, you know, was an option throughout, worked very well. A very, very effective performance, and he gets a 7 for me. I thought he had a very tidy display. Solanke, yeah, you know, a lot of pressure, big opportunity for him, and I thought by and large he took it. Was always an outlet, you know, was looking for the ball, didn't stand still, was always on the move, got his assist, probably unlucky not to get another assist, and unlucky, you know, he probably should have done better with one chance in the first half, but, you know, he didn't look phased, and, you know, he just settled in, and this is a team that we've changed up, we've ripped up a couple of times now, and he's come in, and, you know, it wasn't if we were short in any area of the pitch, particularly up front where he was playing. And, you know, I was impressed with him, and I think he gives us more of an option than Sturridge did. He's a long way to go, but I think he gives us a little bit more, and he's definitely another option. And as I said, you know, there was signs of a little bit of a partnership there starting to develop with himself and Bobby. So, you know, that's exciting times, and, you know, definitely a very valuable signing and a very valuable addition to the squad, and he gets a 7 for me. Usually at this stage when I'm doing the player ratings, that's me done. You don't talk about the subs. You kind of mention them all, weren't on long enough to rate them. But there's a certain Egyptian guy that came on and just set the world alight, set the game alight, got us all on his feet, got us all screaming like idiots again, and that's Mr. Salah. Again, you know, I'm just running out of things to say about the guy. He just comes on, you know, he's that threat. He scares defenders. It was a wonderful piece of play from Manny. But he comes back, and the finish, you know, just absolutely puts his foot through them, smashes it in, and, you know, it's just one of those moments where football just makes an idiot out of you. It loses all your emotions. You just lose the plot. You jump up and you just pretend you're like a little kid again. Just a joy to watch. And he's just continuing this rich reign of form. As I said, he's smashing up every stat there is in Liverpool related. He's one of the informed players in world football at the moment. And he comes on and he adds 2 goals, and, you know, the second one then is a lovely little finish. But for me, it's that fear that he puts in the defenders, because it's just a simple ball over the top. But he just creates panic, and he's coming through, and next minute you know he's straight through, and there's nothing you can do, and he tucks it away, and we all go wild. And, you know, how great is it to have a player in such red hot form? And, you know, we always had the debate: do we need a 30-goal striker? We've got that to a shock to us all in Salah, and, you know, another wonderful performance. And, you know, Yeah, I probably should give him a 9, but 8 it is for Salah. But you know, on we go. We keep on going for him. We just wrap him in cotton wool. We just hold on to him, and then, you know, long may it continue with him. The other subs, Milner, you know, didn't really. It's the usual subs rating. You know, didn't really have a lot to do. Didn't really do anything wrong. You know, took a guy out, walloped him in the stomach with the ball straight away. Did what was meant to do. You know, just kill the timeout, and then the same for Henderson. It's a couple of minutes just to take the captain's armband back off our keeper and just shore up the game, waste a bit of time. So there you are, folks. That's the player ratings. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Redmen TV. And we'll talk to you all very soon. Up the Reds!